Hi, my name is Daniel Forster and I'm a Masters of Business Administration student at Southern Cross University. Industry Research Project A is my 15th unit on my journey towards an MBA. The chosen subject for me for this industry research project is education and earnings, or the research of the correlation between completed years of education and hourly or yearly earnings. I've chosen this off-the-shelf project for my industry research project because in my workplace I'm surrounded by others with years of experience in their field and or a bachelor's degree from years of secondary or tertiary education, particularly tertiary education. And the diversity of people plus the secondary data set which I have access to at my work is going to be used to complement the secondary data set from SCU, which I will also be using, which is available in the unit content. What do I understand about research? I have snipped in the most intriguing answer that I could find to that question, which was from Gehrig et al. In 2008, where they talk about 7 steps of research: initial observational question, form a hypothesis, design the study, analyze data and draw conclusions, report findings, consider open questions, and also act on open questions. For me, in my own words, the process of investigation is collecting primary or secondary data and then sifting through, but more importantly, I believe, is checking the validity of that data through qualitative or quantitative analysis, and then reporting on it in my own words. What is the business question that I want to solve? I don't see it as a problem, it's more of a question. So to research and analyse a correlation between years of education and wages, question 1 is the number of years of education is it a key driver to earning potential? And question 2 is, are there any other key drivers towards earning potential? And I suppose I'm curious if these influences coexist, that is education and or experience, and are they mutually exclusive? So why I chose the subject? Look, as a tradesman with an electrical trade background, I have 11 years of schooling. I finished school when I was 16 after year 10, and I went straight to an apprenticeship. But I do have 32 years of experience in the building industry and the resources industries. I'm currently employed as a project manager, and I do currently direct low-paid, higher educated engineers at my workplace. I wish to analyse, firstly, the correlation between the completed years of education for myself and my colleagues, but also obviously their earnings. I want to also investigate the effect of experience on the hourly rates, hourly earnings, and I'm intrigued to see what the analysis says about these factors. I did consider speaking to a few friends of mine who were self-employed, but I felt that those numbers would have really only worked as allies or opposites, because self-employment, I believe, is a different kettle of fish when it comes to researching earnings versus years of education. What type of data am I proposing to use? So secondary data sourced from SCU, which is in the unit content, and further second set from my workplace. This second set comes from intellectual property of my employer. I do have access to hourly rates. As a PM, I do a lot of estimating and quoting, and I need access to those rates, charge out rates, and I'll also supplement those numbers with interviews that I want to conduct with my colleagues, and I have, pardon me, dozens of colleagues who are happy to discuss and assist me with what I'm doing. I do have permission to use these numbers, and I'll sort of supplement what I learn from the interviews and share that with the group, hopefully, at the end of my project. The analytical framework, or I guess the method that this will be based on, is human capital theory. So Adam Smith did describe this as the acquired and useful abilities of all the inhabitants or members of a society in an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations in 1776, which I felt was a long time ago, but it was a very good starting place for me. I further researched human capital theory and found a little bit of Marxist literature, according to Robert Longley, from a reference site called Thought Co. as far back as 1859. Marx called human capital theory, he called it labour power, suggesting that the idea of human capital, by asserting that in a capitalist system people would sell their labour power or human capital in return for income. This did concern me, but further reading came a little more modern research. I understand human capital really as a group of intangible components, such as skills, qualifications, social skills, work experience, personality traits, I guess, habits, and sometimes even an individual's ability to make a call or take a risk based on what they know. So I intend to analyse that data that I have, and I will gather all of that and use a simple linear analysis, and also utilise peer-reviewed articles to discuss the cause and effect of years of education on earnings and the effect of experience on earnings as well, and whether or not the two are mutually exclusive. Thank you.